Hey, Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and we're back for Against the Storm, Keepers of the Stone. By the way, this series is thanks to the Patreons. They voted for Against the Storm for the second month in a row. If you would like to see and vote on this series, make sure you go to patreon.com/Potato McWhiskey. The first episode is free, and if you're watching this, there is a second episode up on the Patreon for you to watch right now. And it costs you $3 for a whole month. You'll get one episode every Thursday. Now, Against the Storm is one of my favorite games. Possibly game of the year, possibly best city builder ever made, in my opinion, like legitimately. I kind of feel like doing a Royal Woodlands game. I want to get closer to this bronze seal. So let's give it an L shot. I don't remember if we beat or we failed the bronze seal last time. And since this is a Royal Woodlands, there should be an average amount of fertile soil. So I think it could be okay for us to start with like a human build. We'll start off with about 9 people. We could go for more people early, which has some advantages and disadvantages. Advantages in that we can generate more resources, disadvantages in that we need more resources to sustain our economy. I will bring some stone with me because it's nice to be able to build paths using stone. And then I'll bring 30 vegetables with me to be able to sustain my early game population a little bit easier. We're going to be dealing with the gift of the woodlands, which will make trees give more wood. Let's go ahead and jump in. We're playing on Viceroy difficulty, which I think is the most fun difficulty. It looks like the positive effect that we are dealing with here is Aura of Peace. We gain a reputation points for every dangerous or forbidden glade event completed during the drizzle season, which is very interesting because normally working on a dangerous or forbidden glade event has some negative effects. So starting the work on a negative glade event during the storm to have a time like to finish during the drizzle is kind of an interesting compromise here. You've got the looming darkness, which is standard. Fog, so at hostility 1 we'll need to give our villagers housing. Unyielding corruption, we cannot favor citizens while the hearth is being corrupted. Unnatural erosion, we have to pay oil every few so at hostility 4 we'll have to pay 5 oil multiplied by the number of years, or 2 gathering nodes will be destroyed. And then we also have nauseating spores, which means our villagers will take more breaks. That's unfortunate, not a great one. Taking a look at our starting location here. It's been a while since it's been like a week or two since I've played. So we've got some mushrooms, we've got some meat, and we've got some flax fields. So what is our opening strategy here? Well, I think the opening strategy is to get the hearth to tier 1 and then set up our baseline economy and maybe look into exploring. So I'm going to set up a paved road here between our 2 main buildings, right? This is where people are going to be walking back and forth the most often and most likely. So I'll set up some basic paths like so. And then let's think about our wood cutting direction. If we cut into a couple of these this is like a relatively large, small glade. So if we were to cut into that pretty early into the game, we could maybe have a chance of finding some farming stuff. And then if we could get year 2 farming going, that would actually be really, really good. The question is, do I want to go double woodcutter camp or do I want to go single woodcutter camp and then do a lot of harvesting and crafting? I am tempted by the ranch here. It's kind of an interesting building. It takes 5 planks, but it allows you to turn plant fiber or indeed any vegetable into meat. And the really nice thing about this is it allows you to turn either food or non-food things into food, which is kind of an interesting ability. Yeah, let's focus on just getting the wood cutting up, and then we'll maybe do a little bit of harvesting. I think I'm just going to do 1 woodcutter camp. Nah, you know what? 2 woodcutting camps feels like it's mandatory. We'll start off with 2, and we'll open up 2 small glades first. Let time tick up. Let's make sure that we set avoid glades except for marked, and I'll assign some humans each of the woodcutters camps while the rest of my people will work on building the basic infrastructure. So there we go. Woodcutters are up and are now producing wood. Very happy to see these paths being built. It means my people are running around more efficiently. It's all about making your town efficient. So gain 1 villager every time you explore a new glade, or gain 20 reeds and 20 clay for every explored glade. Getting more villagers can be a bit of a double-edged sword in that it does allow you to create more resources, but it can also be quite dangerous. Like a grain delivery line, like if I remember correctly, the drizzle is 4 minutes, the storm is 2. This is basically 30 grain per year, which really isn't a whole lot of grain. There's not a huge amount that we could do with that grain. This would sustain a single worker at a ranch making eggs. It would almost sustain 2 workers, almost. Versus getting the injection of reeds and clay, or indeed just getting a huge population. Like, do we want to build a metropolis? That could be an interesting direction to take this run. I think I need to make this choice right now, don't I? I'm going to go for the exploration contract. I think that is a little bit better. While population is really good, too much population is dangerous. Okay, so we actually found a really nice small glade here. There's a copperfin trout pond, a clearance water geyser, some paths, some fences, and a fishing hut, which is actually quite useful because if we repair this fishing hut, we will be able to start harvesting food from the copperfin trout pond, which would get us both scales and sea marrow. There is something to be said for rebuilding this. Alternatively, we could get an injection of resources right now. I think we'll just chill for now. We want to start making our people a little bit happier. I will want human houses, but for now I'm going to build 4 regular shelters. All right, so we've got booming economy, which says sell goods worth at least 15 amber to a trader or a trade route. I'm going to take that one. That should be fairly easy for us to achieve. And cut through the forest to discover 4 glades. This actually works really well with our current strategy. This like reinforces the kind of direction that we're going. So I'll take the exploration contract. And then Lost in the Woods says cut through the forest to discover 3 glades and rebuild or salvage 1 destroyed building in the forest. This would give us a boost to our stone and clay production as well as some tools. I'll go for Lost in the Woods. We're kind of very much so going in a sort of explore the forest direction, which is a direction I'm very happy to go in. Put a trading post over here, nice and tidy, so we can start doing trading. Perfect. And we did find fertile soil. Now we won't have the ability to farm that soil, but we could re-roll and maybe see if we can find a farm. So a fox house, we could make use of a fox house. These are worth an extra 3 happiness, I believe, or 3 resolve. Most of these buildings aren't particularly useful. I guess the tea house has some value. The press could be useful to make oil, flour, and paste. Oil is useful. Oil can be useful, so I'll take the press for now. The brickyard, the cookhouse, the distillery, and the tea house. I'm kind of intrigued by the brickyard here because that would give us access to crystallized dew by turning water into dew and making use of stone as well as clay. So I'm interested in the idea of the brickyard. I think we are going to take the brickyard. The lumber mill similarly would allow us to get better planks. However, we could get the plantation and get access to berries and plant fiber. I'm going to take the plantation for now because we do have a farming plot. I'm going to assign 2 population to here, and their main objective is to just get me some planks ASAP because we actually do have some, which means I should be able to build a quick little plantation here with a farm field, and then I don't need these people working in the crude workstation. So we've got fertile soil and a small abandoned cache. I'm going to set the farmhouse. I'm going to give 2 workers in here. I'm going to set the priority to maximum. I'm going to set the priority in these houses and stuff to the lowest. So hopefully people will now prioritize getting the farm fields up. And here's the thing, even if we only get a small crop of things planted this year, it would be nice to get a little bit. I mean, sure, there's only like 1 minute and 30 seconds left, but hopefully we can see, 30 seconds of planting, we might be able to get 2 or 3 plots of each crop type planted. Now that we've got our basic housing up, housing is worth a maximum of 3 resolve with basic housing. We can make that an extra 1 if we come to the Ancient Hearth and we place a comfort decoration here and turn this into an encampment, which will give us +1 global resolve. And that is the kind of thing that is really useful. So I'm going to grab myself a park and I'll just plonk it over there. It doesn't necessarily need to go anywhere in particular. And I am quite happy to see that we will at least get a few of these fields planted. Not a huge amount, but a handful of berries and a handful of plant fiber. And so there is the hearth. The hearth is now level 1 encampment. We've got our trading post coming online. Well, things are coming along the way that we would hope. Let's start repairing the fishing hut. I'll put a fox to work on that. I only need 1 fox to work on it. I will come into the makeshift post and tell them to make packs of provisions from eggs. I never want to have more than 6 provisions at a time in this early game phase of the game. I don't think we need more than that. I'll put 1 person in charge of making basic items. So it would be nice to have both planks and cloth built. We'll need to explore more glades, but that will take some time. Hope we should be able to get those done in the next year. In fact, I think it would be a good idea for us to basically cut through to this glade towards the end of the year so that we can be in a position to clear it near the start of the next year. So there'll be a little bit of a shifting around, because if we can do that, we would actually get half a point of reputation if we can get it timed to happen in the drizzle. The fishing hut has been repaired. We can use packs of crops to make ground bait. I don't know if we necessarily want to do that when we don't have a particularly strong ability to produce crops, but this could be a good way for us to generate a little bit of scales value. So I'll put a couple of foxes on the fishing here to make sure that we can get the sea marrow and the scales. These are worth a little bit of money, so they can be sold for good value. Okay, the storm is coming, so I'm going to assign the sort of order to chop through to the glade here. I'm going to assign a fox to the hearth, because foxes lower the hostility from open glades by 6, which will mean I should be able to fully employ woodcutters during the storm without going to level 2 hostility, which means we should be able to weather this storm pretty comfortably. Now, that's a little bit of a problem that we found a blood flower. So I'm going to take 2 people off of working in my woodcutting camps to bring hostility down, and I need to start dealing with this blood flower as soon as possible. So I'm going to assign 2 foxes to this, which will bring the sort of total work time down to 3 minutes. And so when we deal with the blood flower, yes, we're going to be losing 2 food every 6 seconds, which is approximately 20 food per minute. So we'll lose about 60 food. which is most of our remaining food. But we have discovered a lot of potential resources in here, right? Like we've got moss broccoli, we've got flax fields, we've got sea marrow, storm geysers, fertile soil, and a large abandoned cache. Like there's a lot of really good resources we're going to find in here. And if we deal with this blood flower right now, we will actually get half a reputation point because the timing will line up. So we're going to go ahead and begin the investigation. And hopefully those guys will get to work on it nice and quick. And yes, I know Harpy's resolve is low, but I'm hoping we can get them through without needing to resort to any sort of resolve juggling shenanigans. I'm going to sell a little bit of stone and I'm going to sell a little bit of eggs. The main thing is to just get those trade routes going because we need a small income of amber in order to trigger booming economies. So that's kind of like what we're working towards. Right, the harpies are starting to suffer resolve issues, so I'm going to favor them to let them survive. This will start causing the foxes to leave, but we can do a small favor juggle, like when the foxes are about halfway to leaving, I will unfavor the harpies, which will bring the foxes back up to a safe resolve level in time for them to stop leaving. I'll just do a small resolve juggle. Okay, perfect. Let's make sure we have 2 people working on this farm. The herbs are nice. I do think I would like to get the stone. I also have the ability to send another trade route. What do we got? Well, actually we could send coal and stone. I'll send the stone. We have a new cornerstone to pick from. I get to show you one of the coolest things in the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to take Woodcutter's Prayer right now, but if I recall correctly, now this might have changed, but I'm in this game. This is me. If I click the smuggler thing, that's me. That's Potato McWhiskey. That's who I look like. That's me. I'm in the game. It's awesome. It's like one of the coolest things ever. Pedro Pascal wearing a strange hat, coming to offer you some blueprints. That's so cool. So I think I'm going to pick the Monastery. Monastery is one of my favorites because it straight up just lowers hostility by 100 for the cost of 3 population. It also allows you to fulfill incense and ale needs, so I'll just grab the Monastery. Now really I would have much preferred to get the double wood production, but I mean, come on, if I'm in the game and you get to pick any blueprint, you gotta pick that one, right? I'd be crazy not to. I'm gonna work over here with my lumber, my woodcutters to get this space cleared out for new stuff. I do need to explore 2 more glades. There's a small one over there. What do I get for exploring these glades again? I just want to double check. Yeah, that's not so bad. All right, let's make sure we build another house so that our people will not be unhoused. We're also going to want better decorations so that we can get the Ancient Hearth to level 2. This will increase global resolve by another +1, but it'll also give us a 10% global production speed, which is extremely valuable. So I'll build a second park, plus I will build the garden because it is an aesthetics improvement. It will fulfill the aesthetics need, and then we'll have a second decoration need, so we'll be good. Yes, we're low on food because of the thing that we encountered, which means I need to harvest food. So let me get a herbalist camp plus a trapper's camp. We'll get both of those going, and I'm going to tell these guys to prioritize planting berries because my people cannot eat plant fiber. They have to eat berries. Although it'd be kind of interesting if there was a herbivorous, faction. Yeah, we're practically out of food. Now the trader will be here in 10 seconds and we might be able to get food off of them. Take you out of the makeshift post. Can I sell anything else? I could sell some of my stones. I will. I'm going to take eggs out of here. Old Farluff is here. He has no food. Oh god, Ripperino. Okay, let me prioritize assigning population to these harvesting camps. I'm going to take some people off of woodcutting because the desire for food is too high and I don't want my people to starve. Once this flour is done being broken, we will have grain, which is nice, I guess. And we do have, it might be worth it for me to sell something to this guy just purely to fulfill the booming economy. I have a trade route going for 4, so I only need like a couple of things to sell. I could sell some wood. I sell like 130 wood for 6 amber. I make that trade. I pop in here. I click this. Now I've got a little bit more amber. Maybe I could buy something. I could get the rain mill. We currently don't have a good flour recipe. We currently don't make scrolls. We can make paste in the press. I do think the best purchase here though is the Ways of the Forests, which just lowers hostility by 50 points because that basically buys me time, buys me space, buys me breathing room. I think the clothier here is probably the least bad choice. It gives me a better production for packs of materials. The Druid's Hut doesn't do a huge amount. The Rain Mail is honestly not bad. It upgrades recipes. The Jerky would give me the most new recipes, which I think, the Smokehouse rather, would give me the most new recipes, in particular a food recipe that I don't currently have. It would allow me to turn meat and bugs and wood or oil into more food, which is actually a pretty good building for me to get right now, especially because of the lack of food. So being able to turn meat into more food has a lot of value, so I'm going to get started on that smokehouse basically immediately. Yeah, I know my people are hungry. We'll get it fixed. So I'm going to put a human to work in the smokehouse, making jerky from the meat that we get. I'm going to tell my people not to eat the meat or the bugs, because we can turn both of those into more advanced food. Everything else is still fair game. But don't eat the meat or bugs, because we can use wood to make more food, which is good. And it's even high quality food that will make the harpies happier. Okay, food has arrived. Now, people are going to start basically eating it immediately due to the hunger effect. Now, hopefully, we can start to offset that hunger effect in the near future. Now, I know resolve is getting low, but that's okay. Just give me some time to get through this tough moment. I'm going to sell this resin for sure. That's worth 3 amber. And I'll also sell off this plant fiber for an extra 2 amber. Just making sure we're fulfilling as much money as I can. Now I can pick an order. We could do happy humans, which means I need to have human resolve and deliver grain. This would get me +2 coat production, 2 extra humans with every group of newcomers. Oof. Or I can get scaling up, which would give me better boot production and a bunch of resources. I think scaling up is pretty easy for me to do because I can get those from this fishing post over here that I already have. So I can kind of see how that aligns with my current plans. Sacrificing could be doable. I'm going to go for glades. This is already pushing in the direction of exploring more, and that's something I'm super on board with this current town. All right, let's unfavor the harpies so the foxes aren't so unhappy. Hunger is being alleviated slightly. We're still being affected by it, but we should start seeing food coming in. Like we're getting jerky in the door. Yeah, that was a tough first glade, a tough first dangerous glade, but I think we weathered it pretty well. I do need to check this out. Are you guys actually able to pick all of these plants in time? It looks like you're failing to pick all these plants in time, which to me tells me I need to give you a small warehouse, and I'm going to assign some people to this fishing hut so we can start cramming it. Now we'll be able to get through this one pretty easily thanks to all of the negative hostility that we've managed to accumulate. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I would really like to get a second farm up, but I think my economy is just a little bit too stretched with all of the harvesters I have going at the moment. So I think I'll just have to take a much easier year. All right. So year 3, 50% production from the plantation, even more reeds and clay from exploration, or gain 10 amber. I think large baskets here is really good. Especially now, I think it is worth it to try and get another plantation down here. I'm going to immediately assign humans to it, take one off the trapper's camp, assign another human to it, and I will even build another small warehouse over here, right there, just trying to make things nice and tidy. Okay, we got some newcomers. I'll take the 2 tools is actually useful. A tiny bit of food, though, is extremely useful. Yeah, these guys chose the worst moment to take a break. Goddamn jerks. I need to build a brickyard. Let me move this so that I can build myself a brickyard, and the brickyard will be used to, unsurprisingly, make bricks. Right, I'm really happy with the amount of berries that this plot over here got planted. They basically planted their whole crop. These guys didn't. I'll probably need a second plantation over here unless I can get a planting and harvesting speed reduction, but that's fine. Talking to Zorg, we could get a harvesting speed increase. Also a storage capacity increase for our buildings means that things are delivered less often. I think I'm okay with orderly storage. I don't know if this is necessarily a bad or good. Yeah, I think I would rather get harvesting crops as 25% faster, because now my people only take 24 seconds to pull up the roots, which means they can then, be done with the farming end of things a little bit quicker. Right, let's go ahead and deliver these scales. We'll get some coats and we'll get some porridge, as well as a reputation point, which is fantastic because it'll allow us to gain another blueprint. The ranch is actually not a bad pick here because we do have the ability... Wait, no, I need to double check. We have the ability to make plant fiber, and in the ranch, we can use plant fiber to make meat, which means I think now we have infinite jerky. So this gets us the jerky production line that we were looking for. So I think I will take the ranch. All right, new orders are available. Let's see, deliver 40 amber, build a market. This would get us trade logs. We get an additional trade route slot and traders arrive quicker. We get some basket of pies, or we can do a bathhouse and deliver tea. This would get us 5 dye for every 10 insects. I think it's easier for us to build a market, so I will go for the charity fair. And then we've got advanced logistics. If we build some rain collectors, or we can sell goods. I think I would rather sell goods. This would allow traders to arrive quicker, get us some tools and a group of villagers. Okay, that's the one we'll go for. I think that one's better. Zorg, is there anything I want to buy off you? No, I think we're good. I think we're chilling. Oh, my harpies are happy. That's good. Yeah, I think I'd like to start thinking about my second hearth, and I would like to start thinking about wind conditions. It's probably slightly too early to really consider wind conditions, but we're kind of in that direction now. This trapping camp can no longer get meat. That's fine. I think I'm actually even going to demolish it to get back the 3 parts that I can make use of elsewhere in my economy, because I don't plan to do any hunting anymore to get my meat. My meat is going to be coming exclusively from the ranch, and I will get started on a ranch over here. And then I'm going to reactivate plant fiber. Basically, every time we do a plant fiber, we get 10 meat. Every 10 meat we get to turn into jerky, and that feeds our population. I think the big thing though is to get this brickyard up and running and then put a couple of people working in the crude workstation. The fishing hut is idle. We have nothing to fish right now, so I'll take everyone out of that. I could even just delete this if I wanted to. If I wanted to take the resources back, like I could. In theory, I could get the wooden parts, right? Back off it. I don't think I necessarily need to do that just yet, but it's an option. I'm going to assign people to the woodcutter. In particular, I would love to cut through here and find out what's in this small glade to see if I could raid it for resources. I would also like to install water pipes into this smokehouse, or at the very least, you know, I would like to figure out if maybe we could put some drizzle water. We do have a drizzle or a clearance water geyser, so some sort of clearance water building would be nice to be able to make use of that water. We do also have a stormwater geyser. So see, it would be nice if we found a clearance water geyser. I'll take a moment here and observe where and when and how my people are walking around the town. Yeah, food production is a lot healthier now. So I'm looking forward to being able to get rid of the small herbalist camp when they finish harvesting those mushrooms. All right, excellent. Oh, lovely. We found bleeding tooth mushrooms, a root node, fertile soil and abandoned cache. That's amazing. Even more fertile soil. That's big. Now, we have managed to complete Lost in the Woods. So I'm going to take this for the tools and the resolve. Plus, it will give me a blueprint for completing a resolve. Provisioner uses clearance water. This would allow us to build packs of provisions much more effectively, which would allow us to trade more. The smithy would allow us to produce tools, and we do have the ability to make these things. Crystallized dew. We have stormwater. We have plenty of clay. We lack a little bit on resin, but I believe the trees of this forest do give a reasonable chance of resin. So it's not completely impossible for us to produce tools. We don't need the kiln, as far as I'm concerned. It is between the provisioner and the smithy. The question is, do we really want a tool production line as well as a pipe production? And can we make use of this trade goods thing? We could produce oil from the press. We could produce pottery from the brickyard. I do think the smithy is kind of my heart leans in the direction of the provisioner because of the power of trading, but also the power of tools can never be overstated. They're incredibly useful. They're difficult to produce though. I have a bias against producing tools, but it's literally like you produce 24 tools. So if I can make 60 or 72, crystallized dew, I just get a resolve basically and a bunch of amber. Yeah, I think as a player my bias is towards the provisioner here, so I'm going to grab the provisioner and to start moving some of these houses as well. I need to start thinking about building human houses specifically to make them happier. Let's put a provisioner near this warehouse. That's perfect, and we'll unpause the game. I will put a fox in charge of the brickyard. I'm not going to produce pottery or crystallized dew just yet, but I will make bricks, and I'm going to say make me like 20 bricks is plenty. So he'll slowly get to work on making me bricks. The small herbalist camp has run out of gathering nodes, and I think that tells me, we could go get those mushrooms, but we have our food problems handled, so I'm going to go ahead and destroy this, and then I will add another person in the brickyard so we can get just enough bricks to handle what our economy needs. In particular, like, we need to get these warehouses up, so we'll give them a little bit of time to get those built. Our first ranch is completed, and so I'm going to assign my people to be working in the ranch to produce meat so that we have infinite meat. Harpy resolve is low, but we should be able to make it through the winter, through the storm. Need a lot more population. That's where I'm kind of struggling right now. My population is stretched over many, many jobs. All right, let's have a look. Protected trade. Hostility is reduced by 15 points for every time you sell goods worth 30 amber, but complex food needs grant 1 less resolve point. We've got economic migration. Newcomers arrive 15% quicker and bring 10% more goods for every 1 level of standing what you have with other settlements. This is quite powerful. Lost supplies. Basically, we get supplies when we complete events. I think economic migration could be really useful to get a big population boom. Protected trade is super powerful though. Anything that allows you to lower hostility is incredibly powerful. Hostility is probably your biggest challenge to overcome as a player, or at least in the way that I play the game. I will take the amber, the cloth, and the copper right there. So we just got a big population boom. And now is the time, I think, to start producing human houses. I have 14 humans, which means I need 7 human houses. I can fit 4 of them in here. I'll move the parks to be in between them. Got to make things look at least passably pretty. I probably should have opened a dangerous glade this year. It's fine. I probably should have tried to get this up, but it's not a priority. I've got other things I need to work on. So now that we have infinite meat and berries, we can actually start making provisions again to keep trading. And I'll raise this up to 12 and I'll put 2 people to work on it. I'm going to put a second person to work in the smokehouse making us jerky, just so that we have that constant food multiplier chooching away for us. And it's not like jerky has 0 value either. It can actually be sold for a not unreasonable amount of money. It's not a huge amount of money, but it can be sold. Okay, I will say it's probably good for us to produce like 30 pottery from our brickyard so that we can sell that to either trade routes or the people who pass on through. When it comes to crystallized dew, it's probably good for us to produce this as well. So I will make it out of clay plus resin plus stormwater, and I'm going to set the global limit to like 20, which is like 10 production cycles, which is pretty reasonable. I think 10 production cycles is a reasonable number of times to produce something as a limit. All right, let's have a look at these trade deals. What do we got? We got a leather trade deal. Boom, I'll take that. It's only one copper thing, but every little bit of resource you can sell helps. It's important to remember that. It is time for us to build another small hearth, but we need to clear out a lot more space over here. So I'm going to start clearing in a nice little circle like this. Make a little clearing, and I'm going to start clearing out this area too. Oh, you know what? We can make provisions in the provisioner, so I can actually, hold on. We don't need to do this here. Let me send all these resources back. Force that delivery. Don't make that stuff though. Instead, we can make this over here in the provisioner, and we can actually make use of clearance water. So let me build this and a geyser pump so we can start clearance watering. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. We have another trade option. I think selling clay sucks, but I will do it because I want the money. Another trade route, we can sell some wine that we have. That's awesome. Just keep selling things. It gets us money, it gets us resources, it churns over our economy, it makes our next trade a little bit more valuable. Yeah, these guys aren't quite able to fully utilize this farm field, but I'm okay with that. I would rather underutilize a farm field than have too many population working on it, if that makes sense. All right, Farlough is back again. Oh, wow. Okay, we can gain copper and wood from sending caches or opening them. Smithy, I don't think any of this really helps me too much. I do think it's about time that we started thinking about building a temple. I would like these tools. 69 amber for tools is a lot. I don't even think if I sell literally everything, I barely make it to 69 amber. Yeah, so there's no way we're buying that many tools. What if we set our sights a little bit smaller? What if we set our sights on getting 3 more tools to be able to open a cache? And then there was another one here. So if we could get 12 tools, we could get a whole reputation point and 20 amber. So 12 tools will cost us 27. I think this is worth it. We could sell the scales. I'm okay with selling the crystallized dew. I'm okay with selling the wood. Wood is easy for me to come by, particularly on this map. So I'll trade that. That's perfect. I need a fox. Foxes work on this better. I'll put a fox to work on this. I want to send it to the Citadel. That'll get us half a reputation point and an amber pouch, which is nice. We've got a new order over here. So what do we do? Reach standing level 2 with 3 settlements on trade routes. I don't even know if there are 3 settlements. There are. Not impossible. It's also not too difficult. Or we can go for complete 4 trade routes worth at least 9 amber and have provisions. This is actually a lot easier, in my opinion, than this. And also +1 saw blade production is really useful. That's like a banger. That's a banger mission right there. So we want to do big, healthy trades now. So I'm going to set this limit even higher. I'm going to set it to 30. We have some human houses. We will need more. I don't think I'm ever going to harvest these eggs, so I'm okay with destroying them. Okay, so we've got our next 3 human houses are coming down over here. We have a geyser pump. I will put a harpy to work on that. And then in my provisioner, I will crank out the water production to maximum so that we will make use of that drizzle water for production speed as well as production yields and even more production speed. Resolve is low, lower than I was expecting. What's going on there? Well, I guess looming darkness just is pretty bad. Yeah, I know we're low on fuel. We'll get it. Don't worry. All right, we completed the Glade event, getting us some reputation. Need to lower my hostility a little bit so people don't leave, which is tough because we're low on fuel. All right, let's have a look at our trade routes. We could sell bricks. Used to be worth at least 9. How about now? Yes. Okay. 12 is worth at least 9, which will get us our first profitable trade trigger. All right. Boom. We're into the new year. Meat specialization is crazy. We could straight up drown the world in meat. So I'm going to take meat specialization. It's crazy good, in particular with a ranch. Basically, every 25 times we do this, we get +1. That's ridiculous. So our meat production line is now officially insane. So the Stonecutters camp has a chance to produce stones. I'm going to go ahead and build, or from the sea marrow rather. Obviously, it's a stonecutter camp. It produces stones, you know. Year 5, you get cutting over there. What trade routes do we have? Sell stones. Not enough, sadly. You can sell jerky. That's a good one. I see no reason not to just go full send on jerky. 20 amber right there. I'm never going to harvest this broccoli, so I'm going to delete it because this is where I want to put my secondary hearth. Good for me to start building another one. This will lower hostility by 30. It'll give me +2 resolve across my settlement once it's fully built. So it has a lot of good value and high quality effects on my whole settlement. Just waiting for immigrants to come in. Perfect. There you are. I'll take the coal. Also, bunch of foxes. Let's see, I would like a harpy or a fox house. Unfortunately, I don't produce those yet. Ooh, I do like the idea of a beanery. We do have the option to make use of this drizzle stuff to make porridge. Humans and foxes like porridge. Porridge, if we go to consumption, is here. It's worth +3 resolve for both, but also increases the chance of double yield. So I do think the porridge has a lot of value here. So I think I might go for the beanery. The beanery also allows us to build pickled goods, which foxes like. And that makes use of containers plus some sort of thing like berries or mushrooms. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to go for. We're going to go for the beanery. I would love to get drizzle water. Drizzle water is kind of what I'm missing. All right, provisioner is finished doing all that crud. I think it'd be okay if we made some flour. So I'll set the flour limit to 100 globally, and then I'll say, hey, why don't you make some flour for me here? All right, we have our next hearth. So you can see we're getting 2 effects of hearths, which lowers hostility by 30. Now we also want to get this built up to be a population location. We have enough housing here with just humans to settle it. So I'll start moving some foxy housing over. And by foxy housing, I mean the housing that everyone lives in. I'll build a cute little park too. Right, sick. We've got small hearth level 1. I think we would like to get it up to level 2. We might struggle without more population, but I will put them here for now. Yeah, we need 2 more people before we can upgrade this, so we could just chill. I'm going to start making it easier for me to cut through, because I think I would like to do a double danger. I think when the next year rolls around, we're going to do a double dangerous glade opening. Now, we do also need to think about the fact that we have 7 unemployed people, so 2 people are going to be going into the stonecutters camp to start generating these sea marrow. The brickyard is blocked up. It's bricked up with all sorts of crap on its way. So let's go ahead and send this to the Citadel as well. That's going to be half a point of Queen's Grace. Bit of reputation. All right, what's next for me, Mario? I will get myself another plantation. Loving the plantation economy. Me, when I'm a, 17th century Irish lord, or, well, I say Irish lord, Lord of Ireland, I guess would be a more appropriate. I think I would like to build a beanery. I think it'd be cool to start getting porridge. So I'm going to put a beanery right here. We'll get to work on it. Still got 4 unemployed people, but we do have things that need to be built, so I'm not sweating about that just yet. All right, we're into the next age. I am willing to pay a little bit of amber to open up a new trade route with each person. Okay, did not hit any of the things that we wanted. Our booming economy has happened. This will allow us to get traders faster. We'll get some tools. We'll also get new villagers. Love the new villagers. Big fan of that. Would like to get a market now. So you've got a tavern, you've got a temple, Sacrament of the Flame, which is for every 200 seconds you spend sacrificing goods. That has a lot of potential. I am a big fan of the tavern because it's just literally +3 global resolve. It's like getting a second housing buff. Vitality is quite good. +1 to global resolve for every 200 times any complex food need is fulfilled. Now that is powerful, the Tea Doctor. So I think I'm going to take the Tea Doctor. The bonus is added retroactively. Our expected gain is 0, but we're halfway to the first one. So I'm going to take the Tea Doctor. I think this fits really well with our beanery strategy. I did not think about the fact that we have no mushrooms to make soup with, but that's fine. We have plenty of berries to make pickled goods with, which will make our foxes happy. I will tell the beanery not to make crystallized dew. Use any type of water you want to make porridge, and then mushrooms are fine. I'm going to tell my people to stop eating mushrooms because they're used now in a complex food recipe. So it's like, hey, don't eat those, you jerks, or don't eat the berries neither. But we'll do that a little bit, in a little bit. Yeah, drizzle water is my biggest thing that I'm lacking. Never found a drizzle water geyser. But yeah, we're making plenty of porridge. We're a little bit light on clay, which means we need to open a glade to get the clay pop from the perk that we have, the archaeology exploration contract or whatever it's called. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about my town. Do I want to open a super dangerous glade? Super hot. Let's have a little bit of a think about our economy. We've got you exploring that. We've got a makeshift post, smokehouse. I don't think we need more people working in the smokehouse. We want to make perfume. We want to make the monastery. Monastery uses exclusively bricks. Let's make the monastery. Let's go. Let's do it. Monastery, go. Although we're a little tight on the brick side of things, but that's okay. We got plus steel pickaxes. We got it. We got this. We got this. We're good. We'll be fine. Can you tell I'm coping? I'm excited for the next trader because we actually have a lot of value. Yeah, I guess I feel kind of comfortable just upping this limit to like 90. Like, why shouldn't we just have infinite provisions? Now, are there any buildings I have not yet built that are productive? Well, the press has never been built. All right, it's time to open some glades, baby. Boom. Right before the storm. That's the best time to do it. Don't let those liberals tell you otherwise, okay? Liberal propaganda not to open a press. You know what I mean? Okay, Sother the Ancient has arrived. Faster storms? Hostility reductions? I love hostility reductions. The advanced rain collector is crazy interesting to me. I don't really produce scrolls. My bias as a player prevents me from doing so. I'm going to take Storm Shield and the hostility reduction because I just love those. I mean, harpies and foxes love boots, but is there really a point to buying them? I don't think so. Tea, on the other hand, now. Tea is very viable. But what I really want is to fulfill people's complex food need. That's what I'm interested in. You know, so porridge. Yeah, all these things. All the things that make people happier. All right, temple is up. So this will be just straight up minus 100 hostility. I will put my humans in here because they get +5 to resolve for working in a job they like. I'll take one out of the ranch, put a fox in there, put a third human in here. That's +5 resolve on 3 people. That's perfect. That lowers hostility by 100. That makes our town a lot more cozy. People have a lot more resolve as a result of the lowered hostility. People are chill. Now we got our final order in. Cut through this forest to discover 3 dangerous glades and complete any 2 glade events. Now we're talking, baby. Ooh, I would love builder's tools, but I think we got to go with playing with fire. And we're gonna play with fire right now. Let's open 2 dangerous glades during the storm. Clearer of the storm. What the hell did we find? Okay, we found a moss broccoli patch, a root node, clay node. Love the clay node. A drizzle water geyser at long last. Alchemist hut, large encampment, altar of decay. All right, let's get this encampment. We want the people. Foxy, Cleopatra. Go get those people. What's this? Altar of decay. So, blight rot cysts increase hostility and we get an impatience point. If we tear it down, this is an act of loyalty. We get blight rot cysts take 10 more seconds to burn. Hostility is increased by 45 for every wildfire essence stored in the settlement's warehouse. We get sea marrow and grain, or we can perform a dangerous ritual. It kills a random villager, but we get reduced hostility. I'm gonna tear this bitch down. Get that sea marrow. We're not gonna work on it just yet. We'll probably start working on it near the end of the season. Ideally with a pair of foxes. That way we get half a point of resolve with the triggering of the Aura of Peace. Sother the Ancient. Do I want to grab anything off you before we go? You know what? I'm gonna grab the tea and the incense. Wait, what is used in the temple again? Incense. I'm gonna grab the tea. Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Let's grab the tea, the incense. What do I sell? I actually don't have much that he wants to buy. Let me just grab the tea. Spill the tea, brother. The tea will be useful when we build a tea house, which we are going to do soon. Tea Doctor is under construction because it will start printing resolve as we fulfill our people's complex food needs. I need to think about where I'm gonna get foxes from. An angry river kelpie. It's a horse. A legendary shape-shifting aquatic spirit. I believe this is actually an Irish creature, an Irish legendary creature. Although maybe I'm thinking of a Selkie, which is like a seal woman. If you steal her skin, she becomes your wife or something, or you imprison her. Irish folklore is weird. I think all folklore is weird. It said whoever acquires the kelpie's bridle is able to control it. It's a similar legend. Summons a deadly wave that pulls 2 villagers underwater, drowning them. We can banish it, which gets us a purified spring, a random water geyser, or we can mount it. Villages are under spell of the Kelpie. Every 90 seconds, 2 random villages will stop working and blindly walk towards the Kelpie until they hallucinate until the effect is gone. Oh, this thing is mesmerizing. It's so beautiful. We're gonna feed it plant fiber. I'm gonna mount that. We're gonna mount 2 of that Kelpie. All right, Stonecutter Camp break. We're gonna take you 2 guys. Get you to work on this. Immediately begin. We'll take you 2 guys, and we're going to get you to start clearing. We're going to get you to start tearing this down. And then I need to lower hostility. There we go. I'm going to favor the harpies to get us through the winter. The storm. All right, River Kelpie, we're working on it. We got through the storm. We're good. We got a new cornerstone. Amazing. Oh, trade hub. Oh, every glade event solved by making a decision marked as empathy lowers hostility by 40 or rich glades. I'm going to go for trade hub. Gain 1 reputation every time you sell goods worth 60 amber, but fulfilling orders is worth less. Let me tell you, before I take that, let me just go ahead and real quick pop in here and fulfill this order and get a full reputation point, whereupon I will then take Trade Hub. Oh yeah, sell that jerky. Full send on that jerky. All right, what's this? We could sell some planks. I don't really want to sell planks. All right, we've got some unhoused fellows over here. Let's see if we can't start dealing with that housing issue. So we'll build another park and we will build ourselves another garden as well. So now we're comfy. We got 3 more houses. That will just about cover our housing requirements. I think it's time we put another worker in the smokehouse because our jerky stores are going down a little bit. A builder and a provisioner has been charmed. That's okay. The Kelpie is being solved now, so let me just go max. There's only 2 minutes and 40 left. I need to burn bone marrow to make sure that we finish this in time, which means let me put a couple of people in here making more bone marrow, or sea marrow, I guess. Okay, what happened there? Oh, we gained a reputation, which means impatience lowered. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's going amazingly. Look at them. We're fascinated by this Kelpie. Oh, it's a beautiful Kelpie. Builders are being charmed. Provisioners are being charmed. We're tearing down this damn statue. Yeah, we're mounting them. We're gonna have ourselves a Kelpie. That gets us some, Queen's Grace. We got an amber pouch. That's sick, dude. Hell yeah. So we finished tearing down the Altar of Decay. We mounted the Kelpie. We're cooking. We are cooking. What trade routes do we have here? So we got half a point of reputation for each of those events thanks to the Aura of Peace. That turned out really nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot. How much plant fiber do I have? I actually don't have that much. It needs to be at least 9 amber. So I'll sell 34 reeds for 12 amber. That fulfills my ambitions. I do have to open 2 more glades, but I do not know if opening a glade is a good move. Right, what do we got in here? Don't care about the kiln, rain mill, distillery, being able to produce ale. Ale is used at the monastery. Clothier would allow us to produce coats, and we do have resin. It's like cloth plus resin equal coat. It's like a bit of a conspiracy theory right there. A smithy, we don't care about a smithy. Stamping mill, manufactory, apothecary. Apothecary would allow us to produce tea. So I tell you what, I will grab the apothecary. That just kind of fits my vibe a little bit better. Let's have a look. Ah, yes, we're finally getting resolve from this. So I will assign harpies to the tea doctor. Our people will be happy to drink the tea and burn the incense. Resolve will be increased across the settlement. And slowly but surely, our people will become happy. Okay, I've got 9 unemployed people plus 2 people who are unhoused. Let me stick another person in this. Jesus, I'm getting to a point now where it's kind of hard to manage everything. It'd be nice? It'd be nice to get another small hearth over here. And you know why it's nice? Because Stone Cold said so. Is Stone Cold, is he still cool? I don't actually know anymore. All the people that were cool when I was growing up, man, they're all weird now. Somebody told me Stone Cold was like a mayor. Like, that's impressive. Man got hit in the head for 40 years and was still able to convince people that, he should be a mayor of somewhere. I can't even convince people I should rule things, and I spend my entire life managing things in a video game. Like, I get all the practice. I want to know, who would you pick to run your town? Me or Stone Cold? That's a legitimate question. Ooh, we can make oil out of meat. I tell you what, I like that. Let's set the production limit to 50. I'm going to say use that meat because we got so much meat to spread around. Now, when it comes to flour, the provisioner is better at making flour, so we'll say no to you. You are a clearance vendor. Now, paste, that's a sick one. If we could get our hands on salt or dye plus meat. Paste is good for the harpies. Paste would give our harpies plus 5 resolve, plus it would allow us to fulfill their complex food needs more, plus it would mean that harpies have a higher chance to double yields, which means, on top of the fact that we would fulfill vitality faster. So like, we're talking, this starts to look like a no-brainer. And when I say a no-brainer, I mean a no-brainer. All right, what do we got? What are we cooking? Chat, what are we cooking? I love that Zoomer slang is entirely just my career. Okay, so we got some reputation. Impatience is super low, which I'm happy with. I think we're just chilling. I think we're Bing chilling. We're getting resolve going. People are happy. They're eating all sorts of things. It would be good if I had someone working on this hearth. And then it would be good if we built up the housing here, because we do not need 24 people living around this house. So let me tell ya. God damn it, I fucking hate broccoli. God, I hate broccoli. Get out of my way, broccoli. It's like me when I'm 6 years old, okay? All right, we got enough housing. We don't have enough broccoli, we have enough housing here. God damn it, I can't speak. All right, let's drop a park. Skadoosh, park is placed, boom. We got a path going. Oh, we love paths. Listen, me and your mom, we love making paths. We love making tracks, okay? I do have enough paved road to like maybe consider placing more paved roads because people are running back and forth places. So I'm gonna say, paved road over here, little paved road over here. Let's speed people up a little bit. Oh, we got a turn in. Heyo, +1 saw blade production. We got some coats, loving it. We're really close to victory now. I'm kind of curious. We need to try and build a market. Can I find a market? Fox House would be sick, although we do not have a good way to make amber. What did the bathhouse do again? Village with lower resolve, leaf slower, global production rate is 25 faster. That's pretty good. You know what would be nice, in my opinion, for every complex need a villager has fulfilled, I would actually like to see the time between their breaks increased, right? Like if a villager goes in, like let's say a human needs to take a break every 2 minutes, right? And they're just eating crappy food, they still got to take a 2-minute break. But if your break is like you're getting jerky, you're getting like a fresh coat, you're getting like incense and beer, that you're 3-minute break. You know what I mean? That's my take. All right, my people are eating stuff. They're walking around. We have upgraded this hearth. We've got even more resolve. We're gaining Half a resolve per minute. Sahilda is here. Hey, what's up, Sahilda? I remember when Sahilda used to look real different. I miss her old face, but that's just nostalgia. Packs of goods are produced faster. Ooh, +2 resolve from comfort. I don't think that's particularly important, but I will go for this. This is not terrible, so I'll take it. Also, I just love having lots of perks, so, you know, you could call me a perky guy. Hey-o! Ho-yo-yo-yo-yo! What am I missing? All right, we're missing mushrooms, so can I buy mushrooms from you? I can, perfect. How would you feel if I traded you mushrooms and I gave you meat? That's so much meat. God, you're greedy. Oh shit, they want to buy berries? I don't really see much of a point in selling berries anymore. Like, I mean, do we need them? I guess we could use the amber. We could sell 65 berries, fine. I guess I could also sell the plant fiber. Oh, we're low on the provisions. All right, that makes sense, that's fine. And then what else were we using? Broccoli? I could buy broccoli to make sure that we can make more of those goods. We'll trade in. We don't need parts right now because we're getting close to victory. So parts aren't particularly relevant for our win condition. What we need, more importantly, is to make sure that we're fulfilling people's complex food needs through porridge and ideally pottery. Oh shoot, I forgot to assign people back to this. Hold on. Chat, let me cook. Do not let him cook. Have you seen his Twitter? I think I'm gonna salvage this. So beat the hell out of this place, please. I've never seen anyone not need to cook as much as I not need to cook. Does that make sense? I should never have been allowed to cook, is what I'm saying here. So we got giant vegetables, copper bars. Hostility from woodcutters is reduced. That's actually superb. I love lowering hostility. It's one of my favorite things to do because it means, I feel like, here's the thing. Hostility lowers your resolve. So if you can lower your hostility, you increase your resolve. That's the way my brain thinks about it. And like, I think of like hostility as like my lose condition almost always. So if I can keep my hostility low, it means I'm keeping my lose condition at bay. I know it's probably not the, like, I know there's probably like super pro players who are like, oh my God, this guy is so suboptimal. He's like taking all the bad perks. And I'm like, lol, negative hostility. You know that graph where like the middle of the graph is like someone crying and then the right hand graph is like somebody like who's giga intelligent. And then the left hand side of the graph, it's like the bell curve. Left side guy is like an idiot, right hand side guy is like enlightened genius Jedi, and then the middle guy is like screaming. People in the middle, that's you guys who were saying I shouldn't take negative hostility. Me and the smart people, we're taking the negative hostility, okay? We know how to play the game. So I think I just need to open a dangerous glade and then I win, basically. I'm gonna favor the harpies so that we get a little bit, we could scrooge a little bit of extra resolve out of them. And I'll call a trader so that maybe we can scrooge a little bit of value out of them too. All right, Sother, what do you got? What you got? Chat. You ain't got shit, Sother. What the hell, man? I want coats. I want boots. I want tea. That's it. That's all that I want. What do you want for that? Okay, I'll trade him all of this for all of this because this will give me resolve for the harpies. That'll also get me reputation. I don't know why that got me reputation. Oh, that's right. I have the trading settlement thing. Oh yeah. Where is that? Where is it? That's not it. This one. Yeah. No, that's not it. It's in here somewhere. Anyway, I have the thing. This is it. The trade hub. So every 60 amber that I trade, I get a resolve. So now we gotta bing chilling for another moment here while we wait for the harpies to win us the game. Come on, little harpies. Don't you do it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, settlement complete. Against the Storm, the greatest game ever made in the city builder genre. Let's go. We got 77 food. We got 4 seal fragments. We never let patience go above 6. Prosperity 2. 25 reputation points through villager resolve. Amazing. All right. Let's pop in here. I want to look at my deeds, okay? Me and your mom did the deed. Oh, let's grab these rewards. There's some XP. Now I need to also buy upgrades, but I tell you what, I always think it's kind of more interesting if you buy the upgrades at the start of the next episode. And if you want to see the next episode, make sure to go to patreon.com/Potato McWhiskey, pay $3, and you'll get all 4 of the next episodes, with the second one available right now and the next 3 releasing every Thursday, okay? Buy yourself a present for Christmas. Patreon.com/Potato McWhiskey. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.